The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
A young man, he was in yeshiva, maybe in yeshiva high school, and he comes into shir, and he's carrying his Gemara, right? He comes walking to shir, with his Gemara. We'll call him Ruvain, right? He's coming to shir. All of a sudden, this other guy walks over to him and says, "That's my Gemara." He said, "What are you talking about? This is my Gemara." He says, "No, you took my Gemara, that's my Gemara." And the other kid starts to pull Ruvain's Gemara. Shimon starts to pull Ruvain's Gemara out of his hand. And Reuven says, "What are you doing? This is my Gemara." And they start fighting, and they start pulling the Gemara, right? And finally, Reuven just rips it away from him and pushes it away. "Leave me alone, it's my Gemara." The Rebbe saw this. And the Rebbe thought that Reuven was stealing Shimon's Gemara. So he whacked Reuven across the face. He thought, two guys fighting, chutzpah, he's stealing this other guy's Gemara, right? And the guy's crying or he's upset, whatever it is. So he gave him a slap across the face. Rosh Hashiva happened to have been sitting in the basement. She saw the whole thing. This guy Reuven was like going crazy. I really slapped me, right? He was on fire. The Rosh Hashiva walked over to him and said, "I saw you coming with the Gemara. I saw him pull the Gemara. I'm asking you to do me a favor. Please don't tell your parents what happened. Don't tell anybody about what happened, whatever it is. Just let it go. Let it go. Otherwise it's going to turn a whole big thing. The Rebbe's going to get into trouble. Just let it go." So we let it go. Fine. 43 years later, he had a dream. And in his dream, his father, who had died already, this guy, 43 years later, has a dream, and his father comes to him in a dream. And his father tells him, you need to come with me to Bezdin Shamayla now. To the court in Shemayim now. He's like, no, because if I go there, I'm dead. I'm not going to come out of my sleep. He knew that. He told his father, I'm not willing to go to Bezdin Shamayla. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to go. Okay. Next night, same dream. Father comes back to him in a dream. He says, they're waiting for you in Bezdin Shamayla. You have to come up and testify. So he said, about what? He says, I can't tell you. All I can tell you is, it happened 43 years ago. Okay, he wakes up in the morning, his mouth is all shaken. They want to take him to Bezdin Shamayla. That's it, he's done. Right? He's going to die. So, he sends a letter, this just happened. He sends a letter to Rav Chaim Kanievsky. And he says, I had 2 dreams in a row. My father came to me in a dream. My father said that they want me in Bezdin Shamayla about something that happened to me 43 years ago. So Rav Chaim said, what happened to you 43 years ago? He started thinking, he looked at what age he was, 43 years. He says, I know what happened to me 43 years ago. So he told Rav Chaim what happened, that he got slapped. Rav Chaim said, go find the person who slapped you. So he went, and he comes to this person's house, and he says to him, is the Rebbe in? Is the Rebbe here? He said, no, he's very, very sick, and he's in a hospital. Okay? He goes to the hospital, the family's there, and the family says, we really can't let you into the room. He has very high fever, very weird sickness, and people can't see him like this. And he says, listen, I had this dream, and what's it called? I have to give him a chila. And this is what happened, and he told the family, he said, this is what happened, and it seems to be in Shemayim, they're tining, whatever it is. Hey, to make a long story short, they all turn white. They're like, when they hear the story, what happened, they're like, okay, go in and, give him a chila, whatever it is. This is what he said. The guy told me the story. He says, I can tell you where to read it. So the boy walks in, and the Rebbe's laying in the bed. He's in high fever, and his head, the rabbi's head, is going from one side to the other, like jerking from one side to the other, from one side to the other. And he goes over to him, and he says, Rebbe, I know you made a mistake. You thought that Shimon, that he took it from me, right? Whatever it is. I'm 100% Meichel, I'm 100% Meichel, I'm 100% Meichel. Okay? So he's Meichel him, and a few days later they tell him that he's better. Fever went down, the head stopped shaking. Kachai, this is the story. Okay. A little while later, his father comes back to him in a dream, and he says, now you really have to come to Shemayim, to Beth and Shemayim. So he calls Rav Chaim, and he says to Rav Chaim, what should I do? Rav Chaim said, it's mashma, if your father came back now, that he probably passed away. Find out if he passed away. He went, Itaka passed away. And they're waiting for you in Beth and Shemayim. You have to, they want a clarification on the Mechila, whatever it is. He said to Rav Chaim, what should I do? Rav Chaim said, take 3 tzaddikim, and go to his grave right now and say in front of them that you're Meichel him. And Kachaya and his father never came back to him again. His head was going from side to side because when he hit the kid, that's what he made the kid's head. When he hit him, his face went to the side because he hit him so hard. So his punishment was that his head kept going back and back and back. I'm a Rabbi, and I'm like, oh my God, you should have told me this 35 years ago. This is a very scary story. What the safe dove of the story is, you don't get away with anything in the next world. You hurt somebody, you're going to pay for it. You don't get away with anything. Even if it was a mistake, you made a mistake. You thought it was Shimon. You hit him, you're going to pay for it. So until in Bezer Shamayla they heard 100% for sure that he was Michael and Belev Shalem, he was in big trouble. It's a story to have Chaim Kanevsky, so it's not like 100 years ago. How careful we have to be, how we treat other people.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org